How do you get your start in art? Did you have dreams of being an NBA player and then it turned into art like for a lot of us, or how did that begin?
Sure. I mean, I'll go way back. So I grew up in Boston, and my actual real dream was to be an NHL player. I was obsessed with hockey um, because the Bruins were hot at that time. Bobby Hull was around. I used to walk to elementary school every day past this little mom and shop sporting goods store, and they had like this amazing goalie mannequin in the window with all the gear, and it just looked like the coolest thing ever. But it was so expensive, and my family just didn't have money like that for the gear and the ice time and all those sorts of things. So we just didn't pursue that road and ended up gravitating towards basketball because of its accessibility. Is we just didn't have the resources, and I just was able to walk up and start playing. So basketball very quickly became a part of my life there. And as soon as I got involved in the sport, I found the community that it was able to bring, because people were coming from all these different backgrounds and all these different cultures, and it didn't matter what your race was or what your financial status was or your family status was. Everyone on the court had the same goal in mind. It was very clean: get that thing into that hoop more times than the other guys, and we win. So it was like very pure in that way, and I felt like it was a beautiful way to build community. So that was just kind of something very, very early on that was important to me with basketball. And that just kind of stuck with me throughout my life, and I kind of pursued different paths along the way. My ambitions actually were around filmmaking and was pursuing that track for a while. But as you know, mobilizing production is expensive and exhausting, and you need to get a lot of people to get an idea out of your head. So I was feeling a bit bogged down from that. And I just kind of wandered into this stained glass shop one day, just looking for a little hobby and a little way. I'm sure, like yourself, you're always trying to challenge yourself and learn something new and try out learn a new skill or something like that.
Yep.
So I just walked into this stained glass shop, and just ran into these, like, going back to community, ran into these great 80-year-old guys that have been doing it their whole lives, and they were kind of just hanging out, and they loved that I was curious about the technique. And they kind of took me under my wing, and I apprenticed under there, just as a fun little hobby, trying something new. And the first piece I made was this basketball backboard, because the sport was cool, meant so much to me from a community-wide thing. And I was just like, oh, this would be a fun thing to make. I didn't really think that much of it, and posted the first one on my social, and I got a ton of attention. And then that led to some press. And then 6 months later, we were showing at Art Basel. And a couple of months after that, we had a show in New York, and just been rolling with it ever since then. So it's a very long way to answer your question, but it started very purely from my love for basketball. And then I've just kind of organically stumbled into this thing, and then I've just been rolling with it ever since.